Good evening, everyone, and welcome to another episode of 60 and Beyond with Skylark on this 5th of April, 2021. Thank you so much for joining me tonight. It's nice to have you here just as the sun has gone down. My favorite time of night is dusk. And here we are together. I hope that you all had a beautiful Easter and Passover. We had these two back-to-back celebrations this weekend, and it was really gorgeous. It feels like a rebirth, like spring. Spring is a rebirth. And that's what we're going to talk about tonight. I have a modality, let's say, that I'm going to share with you this evening on how you can give a rebirth to you. Now, back in 2005, I had lost a really good job in the corporate world. I worked for media giants like HBO and CBS, MTV, Warner Brothers Music for many, many years. And in 2005, I decided that it was time to start something very different. I had always dreamed of being talent, and my opportunity kind of came knocking. So I want to share with you, I have to refer to some notes because, there's sort of a line of history here that I don't always remember exactly, so I'm going to look at some notes and share it with you. Now, for those of you who are new to my vlog, this is a first Monday of the month inspirational and motivational vlog. I post a breakdown of it in the visual patch. So please take a look there and add some comments. I'd like to hear how you feel about this idea of giving rebirth to yourself. It's really interesting. So, and for those of you who have not subscribed to my YouTube channel, please do. I have all of my vlogs listed in order on my YouTube channel. I also post it to Facebook and Twitter, Instagram, and LinkedIn. So there's lots of places. But YouTube is sort of like my home base. That's where you can always go and find things pretty easily. So let's take a look back a little bit over the course of the last year. We've all been through an incredible journey that we continue on. I'm getting my second vaccine shot this Friday. Looking very forward to it. I understand by an article I read this week that after your first shot, I think about 2 weeks in, you are about 80% vaccinated. That means 80% protected from COVID-19. So that's very, very hopeful. I didn't realize it was that high, but it was really good to read it. So that's really great. So I'm getting my second this week, and I'll let you know next month how that went. So, in 2005, I took a leap of faith. I wanted to change my career trajectory. How's that for a word? And I wanted to become talent. So I launched my brand, Skylark Live. It went through a couple of different names, and, it takes a long time to really come up with your brand idea. And to this day, I'm always tweaking, but I think I'm pretty much solid in how I approach it, how I want it to look, my logo. But it took a while. So branding is not such an easy thing. It takes deliberation, it takes a lot of thought, it takes a lot of time, and there's always tweaking. But my brand is Skylark Live, and that is voiceover, radio host, singer-songwriter, and that motto. So I knew when I was starting to launch my brand that I really needed a framework to work within that was sort of, was going to enable me to be very efficient in this process. So it was kind of like an outline, like, okay, how was I going to approach this? I have to be deliberate. I have to have intention. I had to create this idea in order to launch my brand. And I gave myself a year that I was going to do this within. So as I was mulling over, okay, how am I going to really approach this? Like, what confines do I want to work within? And the idea of pregnancy came to me. So I called it REBIRTH. Now it's an acronym. It's become an acronym. It wasn't always an acronym, but it is now. And I'm going to break down the acronym for you so that you can really understand how this works for me and how it can work for you. So the first trimester. Okay, so we're looking at three-month periods, right? So in the first trimester, I looked at R, rethink. I had to rethink my life, and now I wanted to be talent. So what did that really mean? And then I had to kind of envision myself evolving into this new identity, really. And then I had to begin. So that was the first trimester. R for rethink, E for evolve, B for begin. The second trimester, incubate. So I had to go into an incubation period where I had to really think about how I was going to create this and sort of, build the foundation for giving birth to it. Reinvent. I was now embarking on reinventing myself, literally. I was a worker in these amazing jobs that I loved in Manhattan, that I loved. But now, I was really going to be working for myself. I was going to become a freelancer. So I had to create my jobs, I had to get a demo, I had to get a headshot. I started talking to a lot of people that I knew in the industry. Not a lot, a few that were very, very helpful to me. And I just hit the ground running. I bought a notepad, put it in my pocketbook, a pen that I carry to this day. That is a great thing to do. Always have a notepad with you, and always have a pen. Number one. So I started to take training, voiceover training. I took some acting classes. I took some diction training with the actual person who did my demo. It was a package deal, so there's a lot of training that goes in with that. And then the third trimester is transcend and then happen. So you have rebirth. Again, I'm going to go over it. First trimester is the very beginning of the rethinking of yourself, of your identity, of your direction. And then evolving. Okay, now you're embarking on evolving into something else. And then you begin. So in those 3 months, it's a lot of thinking, a lot of mulling over, fake it till you make it, starting to think about yourself as talent. I started to envision myself actually going on auditions. I actually have a picture that I can go grab. Hold on, you have to see this. Now, where is my picture? Here it is. Okay. So this picture was actually me running around New York, going on auditions. That was the image that I kept in my mind all the time. So this helped to create the vision going on an audition. So this works too. Again, the second trimester now is incubate. Now it's starting to take form. Incubation. It's starting to grow. And that's where that image comes in. Okay, so now I'm preparing. Got myself a little case. I have a resume holder. I'm getting my props to start going on auditions. Clothing, outfits, if I'm going to run around New York, I can't wear the 3-inch heels that I love to wear. Always had a pair of flats in case, something happened or I got tired. And running around on auditions takes a lot of energy. And Okay, and then so rethink, evolve, begin, and then you have transcend. No, I'm sorry. I'm getting a little lost here. Here. Rethink, evolve, begin is your first trimester. Second is incubate, reinvent. Now you're reinventing yourself, right? What do I look like? Do I want to have a different hairstyle? Do I want to wear different makeup? You mentioned clothing. What is that image that I want to put forth? And then you're taking your training, you're getting your props, you're getting your demo, you're getting your headshot, you're getting into training. And what was so great about this period was I was learning a new business. Really from the ground up. I was learning a new business I had never been involved in. But I had always fantasized about doing voiceover especially. I thought it was so cool. It's a very competitive field. And if any of you want to go into it, you can send me a message, christineskylark@aol.com, or put comments in this video in the comments section. And also feel free to post comments. I would love some comments about what you learned about yourself in this past year, what you want to shed about yourself, and what you now want to create. Because let's face it, 2020 gave us a lot of time to sit still with ourselves and think about our life. Do we like where we are? Do we like the direction we're going in? Do we like who we are? And if we don't, we can change it. We can change it at any time. And this formula works. It works. So now, when I started to use this formula, I thought it was a novel idea because I had never read anything about it. I had never heard of anybody that used this. But it made so much sense to me that if you could create a human being in 9 months, then you can give rebirth to yourself and you can change your life in 9 months. And I did. So January of 2005, I had that 9 months to really get it going. And then the winter came and I was kind of ready to, be reborn, rebirth. And I started getting on casting sites. So that's sort of the 4th phase, but it's kind of when you're really in it. So I got my resume, my picture. Doing voiceover, you don't really need a headshot, but I thought it was a good idea. You can. I don't think it's really required, but I also did some background acting, and I did some acting in commercials and industrials. So I had to have the headshot, because a lot of the agents want you to do, all of it. I even auditioned for some print, though I don't think I ever booked a print job. But now, this is when I was living in the city. I'm not doing as much running around and auditioning now. I'm not doing any at all, actually. But I am online. So I got myself on several casting sites. The one I use more now is Mandy.com. I get some good voiceover work on Mandy. It's not as frequently as I would like, but I've gotten some really good jobs. As a matter of fact, I got the fortunate job on Mandy because in January of 2006, I booked my very first radio commercials for Fortunate. And I actually heard them driving with my mother on the radio on CD 101.9. If any of you remember that incredible jazz station, we were driving and I had to pull off the road and I'm like, Mom, that's me. And then a friend of mine heard me in a restaurant in New York City and called me and said, I just heard you. So it had actually taken form. It was real. It was an incredible, incredible feeling, and it took 1 year. So the 9 months was the period of development, creation, reinvention, transcending, all of that. And then I got on the casting sites toward the end of that year, and then in the beginning of 2006, I started getting work. And then I got an agent that I freelanced with for a few years, Take One. But again, now that I moved back out of the city, I am no longer going on those in-person auditions. This is a really incredible concept that worked. So as I said, it wasn't such a novel idea as I thought, because then about probably 2 years ago, I read about this. I don't remember exactly where I read it, but I know I read about it, and it was kind of like that aha moment. Wow, I was really onto something. It works. It is rebirth to you. So whatever it is, I'm big on setting goals and knowing you can achieve them. So if you want to write a book, if you want to travel, you're a world traveler, a photographer, a gardener, no matter what it is, it doesn't matter what it is. But it takes a learning curve, it takes time. You've got to get, your ducks in a row, because you want to be successful. After you've put in all this effort, you really want that rebirth to be a success. Pregnancy, it's an amazing technique, and it does work. So again, put some comments in the comment section. Let me know what you think about this idea, and if you want any advice on how to get started and how it all works. Send me an email, christineskylark@aol.com, or post it in the comments. I'm going to post this vlog on my Facebook page, Skylark Live, on Twitter, Instagram, and LinkedIn, all under Skylark Live. So lots of places that you can find it. So again, give it some thought about what you are thinking of recreating. Don't you want to be your passion? What is your passion? Maybe you don't even know your passion. Maybe I can chat with you and we can discover your passion and how you're going to get that started. Because if you think it, you can create it. And that's a fact. That's no secret. This is no secret. But it takes hard work. It takes commitment, it takes time, it takes intention. And I would say from 2005 until today, now that's a long time, it's going on 16 years, there isn't a day that goes by that I don't do something. Now I've got all my pages created on social media. Let me tell you, this took many years. I used to have a website, and unfortunately it was taken down. I had a good friend managing it, but right now I don't feel like I even need a website, because I've got samples of voiceover on my YouTube channel. You can take a listen to those. I have an interview with singer-songwriter Melanie on there, so I do on camera as well. I've got meditations on my YouTube channel. I've got, of course, these vlogs. I've got samples of live gigs. So my YouTube channel is really my website of sorts. It works for me. So let me take a quick look at some other notes here. I think that is about it. 2021, we're going to have a fabulous summer. Spring is so gorgeous. Flowers are starting to bloom. This is a great time of year to start your own rebirth. That's what spring is. All those flowers and perennials lie dormant all winter. They don't die. They're just preparing for their rebirth. So you've had a year to prepare for this rebirth. So what are you going to do with it? It's exciting. I hope your dreams come true. They can. They're yours. Just like I had mine. And I'm not stopping. There's more to come. Because when I retire, maybe in 4 years, that's what I'm thinking. And it's going to take me that long to build what I want to do. I want to do some public speaking. I want to take my vlog and speak to seniors, 60 and beyond. It's about thriving in older age. You're still thriving. You've got lots of energy in you. I know you do. So much. There's so much out there to take advantage of. It's endless, really. And who's putting any limit on it? Only you. Nobody else. only to let go. Rebirth. Think about it. Again, subscribe to my YouTube channel, Skylark Live. Like my page on Facebook, Skylark Live. Follow me on Twitter, Instagram, and LinkedIn. All right. Happy spring, everybody. It's so beautiful. Enjoy your evening. I will see you next month. Love. Peace. See you soon.